I'm an angelic channel. I'm the Ascended Masters channel. I'm also a medium, and I'm also a healer. Ascended Masters, as I've been taught by Archangel Michael, are enlightened beings that are not angelic in nature. So Archangel Michael would teach that Ascended Masters, he has many masters. So you might say on a good day, I would channel Buddha. It's not just Christ consciousness I channel. But Buddha, Shiva. Typically for me, Ascended Masters is a different category, kind of. It's a different vibration than an angelic being. The Archangel level is the level that's the only level of angels that telepathically can communicate with those of us on Earth. That's my truth anyway. So he is one of several archangels. So when you're asking me the doorman specifically for the fifth dimension as it relates to what's going on now in 2012, Michael says that he oftentimes just holds the space open, and holds what space open globally in quadrants. Not he alone, but he and the other archangels, that it's their purpose, particularly now, to do that. Michael especially is often known as the warrior. He's the one throughout history that's been known as many probably have seen the image of Michael on the rock, and Satan, Lucifer, is down at his foot. So Michael is often the archangel that's known as the warrior, the spiritual warrior. And so he refers himself to this sometimes too, but it's a warrior of love and peace. He makes that really clear. I'm the warrior for love and peace, nothing else. There's nothing else existing. So the sword in his hand, which he's actually used in sessions before, is actually a sword of love and kindness. There's no other, interpretation of a sword like humankind would think that a sword is for cutting or hurting, It's the sword of love and kindness. So how does that kind of all relate to the fifth dimension too? Michael resides on the fifth dimension. He's in a sense, he's the doorman, but he's also, I guess you'd say, the bellhop and the hotel clerk, and he runs the hotel, He can, but it's not the only dimension he lives on, exists on. Sometimes he says he resides in the fifth dimension, other times 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 12th. I've been told. That's my truth. So what I think what you're really kind of asking or wanting to know about is what does it mean to be on the fifth dimension? Okay, so he's there and we're here, maybe, is what you're asking. What dimension are we on? We're in the fourth dimension. Okay, so the fourth dimension is an ego-centered one. So are we all going to stay in that dimension? No. If you're asking, what have I been taught by Michael and the other Ascended Masters, that 2012 and the decade beyond is the time of spiritual transformation, the awakening. Many cultures call it many different things. Michael uses many words to describe what you're asking, and that is, what are we transforming to the fifth dimension? And the fifth dimension, said another way, is where archangels can reside. It's a place of love and kindness, total oneness. Some of us, more than others, are living it now. That's what 2012 means in a great sense. Think of it this way, if you would, that what I've been taught is that the light workers have come first for this awakening, for the fifth dimensional reintroduction, because that's what it really is. What I've been taught anyway. It's not like the first time we're just coming to this angelic place. It was how the world was to have been before there was interference. So are we? Yes, Michael would say we are at different times. Some of us already are, and more will follow. The generations will follow, so that there is no more fourth dimensional living. In fact, the children that are entering in now, known as the crystalline children, their DNA is already altered so that it has fifth dimensional DNA in it. It's structured differently. They come and you might hear it called entering in with a higher vibration. So that's all part of the same thing. Star healing is a molecularly changing, restructuring, healing system given by Archangel Michael from the star galaxy And the energy itself that's given, the source energy, is peace and calm. And as Michael says, where there's peace and calm in the body, there can be no illness. So to further understand that, one way everyone can really, aside from energy experiencing the other tools that are available, like sound connection to certain frequencies, Michael would say, simply stated, back to what you ask, is what can we be doing? You can offer love and kindness to yourself and everyone else. I offer love and kindness, and I extend my hand. In some cases, Michael will counsel people and go into great detail and tell them what can they personally do. And he sent people down to the homeless streets, and he sent people up to high-rise towers and consultations, and he sent people everywhere, and he sends light workers. He calls them to join his light workers army in this time of ascension. It's actually like a little page in the book that you can fill out. Michael says, I, blank, agree to serve in the light workers army. And the light workers army, upon that agreement, if someone were to make that, means it's an unbreakable spiritual contract, that if that person agrees to be in Michael's army, that they agree to demonstrate love and kindness every day till they transition. We're responsible, in a sense, for our actions to being love and kind. And so the ascension energy is an unseen spiritual battle, by and large, Michael will say, where lightness overcomes darkness. And so if people are wondering, well, I still don't get what she's saying, which is possible, I would say to them, and Michael teaches, that first the light workers are opening the doors so that others are vibrating at a high speed. Everything is an energy. This is not uncommon. This is commonly understood. And then after the light workers, in terms of a time frame, now, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and the decades beyond, this spiritual evolution was going to continue on to others, affecting everyone. The light workers are first, he says. In fact, in many respects, many of the light workers have already attained that vibration. We're not saying that we're, in that sense, if I'm counting myself with a we, that we're perfect. That's really not at all what I would be saying, or I wanted to interpret it to be. It means that there's an awareness that there are things that are going on, cosmically, globally, interdimensionally, and the greatest thing, as Michael would say, that's going on is the transformation, so that the lower vibrations of hatred, global war, global famine, global everything is being dissipated for us, one person at a time, one region at a time, one continent at a time. And as I've been taught by Michael, a light worker simply is anyone who extends love and kindness. And some of you may be shaking your heads and saying, well, that's not what I know it to be. Okay? But it's the light you carry inside. Certainly there are some that are very gifted, that express their light inside in ways that might not be typical just yet in your world, although this will be changing. So light worker, just separate the words. Anyone who has the light within them that shares it outwardly is a light worker.